Well, I had an interesting week. I trained with the Department of Corrections Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of thing. Yes, 40 hours of training, okay? It was over the top. So there was only one other nurse in the training. Well, actually there was only one other new nurse in the training. And they do annual training for their staff, so the rest of the staff was in the training for part of the time, and then I had training in the specific area that I would be in, and then back to training with everybody. So, it's just overwhelming. They gave you these binders, one that's that thick and one that's about that thick, and there's just so much information, and safety is the most important thing if you're working in a prison. And so basically it is a specialty nursing category, as I would call it. There's a lot of things you can do as a nurse. And what I'm doing is I'm testing the waters in a lot of different areas. I'm also trying to broaden my scope so I can say I've done all sorts of work. I'm learning about a different population. So, it's just tons of information. But, I only actually went to the back where doors locking behind you, and they give you 2 badges if you're a nurse, because you always carry one on you, and then if you go to the back where you're locked in the prison, then you turn in one of your other badges. That way they know if for whatever reason there's a lockdown or whatever, they know that you're back there, or if there was some sort of disaster, they would know that you were there. And so anyway, big razor barbed wire, not even barbed wire, it was this razor stuff on rolls of it along the fencing, and doors locking behind you, and bars, and but for the most part, I feel like sometimes when you're in the community, such as if you're a nurse in the emergency department, you never know who's coming in. You never know what kind of weapons they have. So basically, it seemed fairly safe in the area that I was in. And now, I don't know if I'll be specifically in that area all the time. So they have like a hospital in this prison, and and then they have different other areas in the prison where nurses would be passing medications and doing all sorts of things. They also have a long-term care portion where people might be in wheelchairs or whatnot. They're definitely older prisoners. So anyway, for the most part, it was boring, insightful, and long. 40 hours is a long time to be in training, So anyway, I'm done with that, and I start on Monday actually getting some hands-on nursing work, and I think they hooked me up with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Monday may only be an 8-hour shift, and then hopefully Tuesday and Wednesday are pretty good. So, I'm headed down there, and all's well, and first day they gave us, I had a longer lunch period than I thought I would, so I was going to drive home not home, but to see my mother, and then kind of hang out with her at lunch. My car overheats, and her house is not that far, so yeah, it overheated. And a couple months ago, I paid a lot of money to have the water pump changed, and then I had all the belts changed, and and then I had some other work done on the car. So I've really just been keeping it up. So when it overheated, I was just like, what in the heck is this, So I get it back to my mother's house. She drives me back, and then I have training all week long. So one day she drove me, and then the other days she just loaned me her car, which was very nice of my mother. She's a very kind person. She helped me out a lot. But one of those days, I think it was Wednesday, we drove my car back to Albuquerque, and we put all the fluids in and everything. We must have gone about 5 miles, and it overheated again. So I have AAA, I call AAA. Now, if you have basic AAA, they tow you for 3 miles, and then anything after that, the tow truck fees are what you get charged. So it was $6.50 a mile. and I had to have it towed all the way here, so obviously I had to pay some, like a little over $100. And then I call up my mechanic. No, that's not it. I had the tow truck tow it to the shop where my mechanic works, and you will not believe this. It says for lease on the building. I didn't even see it. The tow truck operator's like, I think they're closed down, and I was just like, closed down? I don't think so, And so he walks me around to the front. Certainly, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do, So I called up the number that I had on his business card, and there was a recording, and you could leave a message at the end. And basically, the recording said, I have bad news. After 21 years of service, I've closed down. I was like, oh my God, And I'm looking at my receipt from way back when I got home, and it said it was a Napa dealer kind of thing, Napa parts. And it said that, 12 months on the parts and labor, and it gave you a certain mileage, And so I left a message on the guy's phone. His message did say, however, that he was like, if he would recommend this other mechanic, this other shop, and one of his mechanics went there, and that was it. I did leave him a message. I never got a return phone call from him. So meantime, there's a lag of a couple of days, and I'm without a car, and I start calling up my friends, and well, first of all, I called Tyrone because they live around the block, and I thought if they saw my car parked out in front instead of under the cover, they might be like, why is she parked there? And, they couldn't get a hold of me or whatever, although I did have my cell phone. But if they knocked, I wouldn't be here. So I decided to call Tyrone and let him know, and he was really bummed out. And then I called my friend David and said, listen, David, I just want to pick your brain. Here's the problem I had before. They fixed it. This is what they did. Now I'm having this problem. Now my friend David is so smart. He's brilliant. I don't care what you're asking him about. He'll think about it. He'll be like, well, and then the next thing you hear coming out of his mouth is like, wow, that makes sense, and I don't know anything about cars, He said the thermostat. He said when your car failed before when they put in the new water pump and stuff, did it overheat? Oh, hell yeah, it overheated. It was like boiling, bubbling. Yeah, anyway, he said the thermostat can get stuck, and so it's not controlling the temperature of your car anymore. And if you're taking short little trips and it's nice and cool, then your car may not have reached a temperature that was, had to be cooled down or whatever. Yeah, I was driving. It was right in the middle of the day. It was hot. Water bubbling over, and it was horrible. So anyway, I think he's right about the thermostat. So he's coming over today to replace the thermostat, and we'll test and see if that works or not. And he said that's a good start. And I believe him, and at least he'll get a look at it, and he'll be able to tell me what to do when I go to the mechanics. And that's what I wanted from him, is just tell me what should I be telling the mechanic, because I don't want to go in there like some dumb broad not knowing anything, about cars and getting taken advantage of and this and that. So anyway, he'll sort me out today. So while I was hoofing it, no, I wasn't hoofing it. I was without my car. My mom was going to drive me back to Albuquerque, and I said, Mom, why don't I take the train? We have this commuter train. It's called the Rail Runner, and it's been serving the south area from Belen and Los Lunas to Albuquerque for less than a year now, and they just stretched it out up north to serve Santa Fe. And so anyway, I'd never ridden on it, and I was all excited, like, I want to ride the train, it's only $2, and my mom really wanted to bring me back, but I'm like, Mom, look, I'll just ride the train. And so the train was cool, and I will add some of the clips of the train in there.